First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Ruach. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Akim and you, Akwath, that believe in all sincerity. As you see here on your screen, the title of this video, He gives the increase. Every morning He wakes our ears, / the saga of John Mark. Okay, you can find this on Daily Edification 4, the Apostle Gabar's channel. And basically, he's going into, your I being single, okay, John Mark, okay, and how because of his youth, at first he wasn't diligent, but then later on he becomes diligent, okay, in the ministry. I want to play a little clip from this video. Lord willing, this will be edifying. And what inspired me to do this lesson is that, at times you may sit and ponder why, your life is so strange, why you're, basically ousted, okay, from the world, and as the Apostle Gabar mentions in this video, you ain't missing out on shit, those thoughts come, but it's understanding that if we've been chosen to do this work from the foundation of the earth, we're not going to be common, we're not going to be, your average Israelite. And we say that with all humility, there's a purpose, why we're in the ministry, there's a mission, there's a job we must do. Okay, so compile some scriptures. Lord willing, this will be edifying, but let's go ahead and play this clip.
You have to see, as a young man in this knowledge is truth, you have to make up your mind. Yahweh Shai said it best: if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. What do you think that means? Your eye is single, meaning you concentrate on one thing, and that's this knowledge, this truth, even as a young man. And don't get lured by the so-called the false pleasures of this world. Being a young man, when you're a young man, you're taken in by the false pleasures of this world. You think you're missing out on something. You ain't missing out on shit, because the Bible says the fashion of this world shall pass away. So you're not missing out. I know you young brothers, you think you're missing out on something. You look, and you might say, well, it's easy for you to say that, Apostle Gabar. You're an older guy. Yeah, I am older. Yeah, I'm 58, right? I'll be 59 this year. But even when I was a younger man, I still knew that this world is, and it was a somewhat better time back then, but I still knew that something's wrong with this world. I never fit in. Okay, I was never part of the world. I never fit in. And I spent many years being by myself, like a loner. I'm like a consummate, brothers who know me, they know me, man. I'm a consummate loner, man. I like being by myself. So I never really, I was never gregarious. Look that word up, in this world.
So there you have it. The Apostle Gabar, speaks on how, even when he was in the world, he was never a part of the world. Okay, and I can attest to that as well, and I know many brothers can, have that same sentiment, I should say. We believe that we've been set apart to do something very important, a special mission, okay? And only those on the inside, those that have that same assignment know, okay, that, we're here to do the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, to preach this gospel, okay, before the second coming, usher in, the second coming of the Messiah. And that's heavy. That's not common. That's not something for the whole world, okay? So we're not missing out on nothing. At times them thoughts might come, but in all actuality, we have to rebuke those thoughts and not get, caught up by the false pleasures of the world, okay? Because, we have a liberty. There's a balance that we must maintain so that we don't, go crazy. But you can never tip the scales. Okay. Excuse me. Let's get that word gregarious that the apostle Gabar was speaking about.
Gregarious.
It says of a person fond of company, sociable. Right. I remember the apostle Gabar was speaking about, we're misanthropes.
Misanthrope.
A person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society. And that's somewhat of a truth, We know 2/3 of the nation of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, are going to perish for their disobedience to the Most High. Okay, and the scriptures speak about, be not indifferent of your salvation. Sleep not as others sleep. When you go outside where sleep, it means indifferent. A lot of people are indifferent. You cannot be indifferent, man. This is, we're speaking about salvation, and people are living to be destroyed. So we're not missing out on anything, Matter of fact, let's get this. Is that Micah? This is not. Let's see if we can. Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword destruction. You see? You have to spiritually depart from this place because it is polluted. And I just saw a video. There was ranking some of the most polluted cities in the United States. Okay, and then they're very hot, populated cities. All right, one was in Louisiana, Philadelphia, California. This place is polluted. It says it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction. The more we, live in Babylon, okay, which Babylon means confusion. America's Babylon the Great. The more, we're susceptible to perish. We're decaying in this life because the Most High and His Son are not here. Therefore, the powers that be are running this world into the ground. It's polluted, and it'll destroy you with a sword destruction. So this is not our rest, and we have to constantly remind ourselves there's certain things, that might come up in your life. Okay, promotions, second jobs, maybe even a second woman, the Lord will, give you certain things, but not everything works out, not everything is expedient. I mean, there's many distractions, there's many things in this life that can deter you from the path, This is 1 Corinthians 7:31. The Apostle Gabar mentioned this. This scripture in the 31st verse, but we'll start at 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Right? You could have wives, but it's like you have none because you're attentive to the ministry, the brotherhood, teaching His truth. They that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. You see, what type of spirit do you have to be in to if you weep, it's like you didn't weep. If you rejoice, it's like you didn't rejoice. And if you buy something and possess something, it's like you don't possess it. You know, a very focused, a very detached type of mentality in a way. You know, knowing that, you know, we're strangers here. You know, if we're from above, you know, if we're those spirits that are created from the foundation of the world, you know, we're just passing through. You know, we're waiting for Yahweh Shai to come. Okay, haven't been woken up to this knowledge. You know, to you know, to bring a new heaven and a new earth where things make sense, where things are righteous, where everything is put in its proper place. You know, scriptures say, you know, all the courses are out of bounds. Roughly paraphrasing, everything is you know, not how it's supposed to be. You know, from relationships to nature. Okay, nothing makes sense. Everything is confused. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. Right? You use the world, you don't abuse of it. You know, let's get this word fashion.
Strong's G 4976. Schema. Schema.
The habitus as compromising everything in a person which strikes the senses. The figure, bearing, discourse, actions, manner of life, etc. Okay? Discourse, actions, manner of life, you know, everything that appeals to your senses, it's all going to be changed. Okay? The manner of life. You know, what people find cool, what is trendy, what is you know, become social norms, all that's going to change. All right, so you know, no need to think that this world and its ways are set in stone. No, the Lord's about to change everything. This is 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right? You can't love the world, man. You can't love the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. What does that mean? That means you can't be worldly. You have to be spiritual. The scriptures say the world lieth in wickedness. Where is that? John 5? Because we have to... First John 5:19, and we know that we are the Most High, and the world lieth in wickedness. You see, there's wickedness in this world. You know, even the Apostle Gabar mentioned, even at his time, you know, the world wasn't so bad, but it's getting bad. It's getting worse. You know, what do the scriptures say? You know, for greater evils, you know, shall be done hereafter, roughly paraphrasing. Every generation, the world gets evil, more evil. Okay? So why, you know, one is not to love the world. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Yeah, the forbidding cravings of the flesh, the eyes, you know, ambition, desire to wanting to be, you know, this great, you know, wealthy, rich guy. And a lot of people push that in the world. You know, you got a lot of people pushing, you know, to further your life and get riches, you know, prosperity doctrine, when really we're trying to get up out of this world. And what's wrong with that? Seeing how it's so corrupt, seeing how, you know, inflation is at an all-time high. It's like, you know, come on, man. We're still slaves. This is a modern-day slavery. You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans need to wake up. You are the Israelites. You are the sons and the daughters of the Most High. The scriptures say the earth was created for us. But if it was created for us, why do we not hold an inheritance? Why do we not hold, position in this life? Talking about you want to make it in this man's system. You know what you got to do to make it in this man's system? You got to give up your beliefs. You got to play ball. You got to be of the world. Okay? And that's not of the Father, man. That's of the world. It says, "In the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever." You see? It's he that does the will of the Most High that's going to abide forever. Have everlasting life. Have salvation. Okay? Become immortal. That's the greatest, reward you could possibly receive. It's being, going back to that godlike state that we once were. Our people are not on that. They're not of that mind frame. And I know how it could be, we're all in the flesh at times. You sit back and you wonder, yeah, I'm still young. I can still do this. I can still do that. Nobody ever wants to look in the mirror and say, yo, I'm getting older, but it's true. We will get, the scriptures say, though the outward man perish, the inward man is renewed day by day. And that's in the spirit. That's in this truth. The Lord's given us the comfort to the strength to endure this life. Because life is hard. Let's read this. Lamentations 3:27. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. It's better to do things right, the first time. As you're young, you don't want to get old and be doing things you should have done when you were younger. This Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. As you get older, you have no pleasure in this life. You start to see it for what it really is. That's why they say, you get bitter as you get older. You get old and crabby. That's what they say. But the thing is that, to be quite honest, man in his best estate is all vanity. Solomon said that. Even when you're doing, your best, that's vanity. And even when you're not, it's vanity. It's all vanity, the vexation of the spirit, because we're without Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in this world. So wouldn't it be best to remember the Lord in thy youth while the evil days come not? And the evil days are coming. This system is about to crash. Okay, the Lord is about to visit the world with plagues. Okay, when those years draw nigh, you're not going to have no pleasure. So seek the Lord while he may be found. Okay, it's best to bear thy yoke in your youth. Once you hear this word, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. Understand, the true will of the Lord, the judgment that is going to come, the purpose of the Israelite upon the earth. That's why the scriptures say, matter of fact, Excuse me. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. You see, that's the whole duty of man, is to keep the commandments of the Heavenly Father. That's how you have success. It's not by getting an education or getting a promotion or anything like that. It's the actual keeping of the commandments, the following of the word of the Most High. That's why scriptures say, man shall not eat by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. That's what gives us success. That's what gives us life. You see? But we're living in a world that is, the light is as darkness, nothing but confusion and evil. And that's why we're decaying in this place. So we're not missing out on nothing, man. And that's the point. You know? Let's get this. This is the book of John 17. And 13, it says at the top, the disciples in the world. And now I come to thee, and these things I speak in the world, that they might have my joy fulfilled in themselves. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them. That's the thing, man. The world's going to hate you, man. Because they see that you're not operating on the same plane. You're not on what they're on. And that's okay. That's okay. You know, I'm coming to, to really, really, to terms with it. You know what I mean? You're going to be ostracized. You're going to be looked at in a certain type of way. You might even think you're missing out. You might, like they don't, that you ain't joining the reindeer game, so to speak. But that's okay. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them. That's another thing, be happy when the Lord don't give you certain things you might want. Those might be blessings in itself. If the Lord remove you from certain places or certain people from you, or whatever the case, like be, rejoice. The Lord might be keeping you from danger, Be happy that your phone don't ring and your door ain't knocking. We got the brotherhood. We got this truth. Let us build up our community, so to speak. What we got going here. Okay, back in John 17 and 14, I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, you see? Because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. The world's going to hate you because you got the word. You operate different. You trying to move in righteousness. You're trying to be holy. And what does holy mean? It means separate. Holy means separate. Doesn't mean mixed all together. No, it means separate. You got to separate. It says 15, I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. You see? The Lord, Yahweh prayed for the disciples that the Most High would keep them from the evil, because there's evil out there. I mean, yeah, Satan is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may destroy. It says they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. You see? So it's a little something, Lord willing, it was edifying, and we're not missing out on nothing, man. Okay? We got everything we need with this truth. We got everything we need with our daily bread. Okay? Well, we have been given our lot, our homes, our families, what we've been given, hey, that's enough. And may the Lord bless what we got. And let us be thankful. And let's understand the perfect will of the Lord. And be transformed in our minds to knowing that, the Lord, hey, all things work out for the good. It's not like, you're part of the elect and things are going to go bad. No. It may seem like that, but hey, the Lord wants us to be disciplined. He wants us to be chastened. What does the scripture say? Let's get one more. Let's see. What does it say? It tells you in Corinthians. One second, let me look it up. Whoops, misspelled it. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 11 though. It says, 1 Corinthians 11:31, for if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. You see, we got to understand. We're going to be condemned. Excuse me. We're going to be chastened so we don't be condemned. At a greater or higher rate than those who don't know the truth. So your life ain't boring, your life ain't strict, your life ain't, that's the disciple though. It must be like this so that we don't be worldly. Now of course you got to balance that out, but the dedication is it is what it is. We've been called to do something very great, and the Lord's not going to accept anything but the straight gate. So, Lord willing, this makes sense. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Ruach HaKodesh, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to you, Aku and you, Aqua, to believe in all sincerity. Shalom.